I have you literally positioned in the most precarious way possible, but I thought I would just say hi and we can talk about what I've been up to. Hello, welcome back. I am down here in our like storage room slash place where I keep my fabric. This cupboard. I also have one drawer that I keep my fat quarters in. I'm looking for black fabric. Then I start making like a huge mess everywhere. So I thought, while I organize this space a bit better, I should show you some stuff that I have found while thrifting. So I have this really beautiful fabric and I thought I'd open it up. I paid $7. So $7 got me this, the irises, and this, and the like water lilies. It feels like half a meter of each. For high fashion fabrics, year 2000, and we're in 2024, guys. This is, does that mean it's vintage? What makes it vintage? Nearly vintage? Does it have to be 25 years old? Anyhow, I also got for $4 from the same op shop this fabric, this, old blues, this, and a little bit of the seagull fabric. I will be making at some stage in my infinite spare time an I Spy quilt. Lemons and blueberries. Lemons and blueberries with a black background and blueberries in yellow. Let's open one up to see how much fabric it actually is. And I'll probably regret this because I'll have to refold it. It feels like a meter by more than a meter. So, man, this is going to be certainly a very interesting video if this is the first video you've ever seen of mine. An intro for people who have no idea who I am or anything about me. Where do I begin? My name is Katherine. And I like sewing. I like lots of things, but I like sewing. But I don't have a ton of spare time because I also have 11 children. So my children, their ages as I film this are 19, 17, 16, 14, 13, 11, 9, 7, 6, 4, and 7 months old. And I have been sick since mid-June. And I will tell you, and this is like, I'm being very honest when I say this, I am one of those people who would have exclaimed and like proudly said, I'm never sick. Because I'm really like, I'm a healthy, non-sick kind of person, and I became extremely unwell. So it started with what felt like just a cold, which I assumed I would be better by the typical duration of like a viral cold thing. 3 to 5 days and I'll be right as rain. And unfortunately, I ended up in bed, bedridden. I found it very difficult to even shower myself because I felt so weak and I had such incredible difficulty breathing that I'd need like get out of the shower and wrap myself in a towel and I'd have to like sit down. It was respiratory. It was definitely something weird going on. My husband came into the bedroom and said, Katherine, I think you need to get checked out and go to the doctor because I had this horrible crackling that would radiate up and down like in my chest. And when you Google things, it says pneumonia, right? So I went off to the doctor. You need to go for a chest x-ray. I think you have pneumonia. I have been, as I've been talking to you, slowly shuffling around fabrics, trying to make things a bit more orderly. I went back to him and he said the x-ray said the lungs were fine. They were not fine. I was sleeping upright in a chair in my lounge room. I was not fine. But he ended up just saying it's some kind of sinus infection. Just a bad sinus infection, he says. Finished the antibiotics. Felt good enough for like, I don't know how long. And I filmed that video, my thrift haul video. And then I got sick again. So it's been really hard. And you can hear me coughing. Like, I'm still fighting a good fight. Just been at home. This is another thing I found at the op shop. This, I thought was a really good bargain. I paid $10. Like quilting fabric, right? That someone made into curtains. This is so much fabric. $10. It actually says here 210 width by 200 length. It might end up being like the backing of a couple of quilts. This fabric, I don't know if I showed you this in a video, but it's all beautiful, like feminine fabrics. I love them all. This whole stack I got for $7. So you can find a lot of crafting stuff at op shops that's really like a super awesome, great price. I did drag out the quilt that I have finished. So I just hand quilted this whole thing. I like it. I like it. I tend to give away my quilts to people because I think quilts can be a great gift to people to know that, you know, even if it's a stranger giving it to you, I make my quilts with love and I'm hoping that it can comfort a person. So I tend to give away a lot of my quilts, but I'm really thinking for this to be like a sustainable hobby, like the gifting thing, I'm going to have to also start to sell quilts. Because I'm still, like, I'm buying batting, and obviously I'm using thread, and thread, eventually you run out of it, you gotta buy more. So I can't be actually putting myself, like, in a hole, trying to be all generous and give away stuff, and then not actually have enough money to keep doing it. And frankly, it'd be great to be able to earn some kind of income. Because, you know, I'm a freeloader. I'm just a stay-at-home mother. So, yeah. Who knows what the future holds. My husband and I are praying that the future holds a new house for us that we can all fit into. But at least while I've been talking to you, I have organized a bit. But there's always the terrible part, which is the stuff you like pull out, and then how am I going to fit everything back in? That was kind of like a updatey type thing. I'm really telling myself I have to finish the 3 quilts that I've quilted that just need to be bound. Then I need to decide if I'm going to try to sell a few and give away one, or give away, I don't know. So they were quilts that I originally made the quilt top like well over a year ago. So it's kind of like the quilts are already gone in my mind. I was just making them. I wasn't really thinking, oh, this is for Junior and Betsy and Roger and Bertram. I was just kind of making quilts and enjoying the process. I have been looking for Christmas fabric for like a really long time, and I've been very lucky in the fact that I've had like 4 occasions now where I have found Christmas fabric at op shops. I found this large amount of this pattern at Savers for, can you see that? $5.99 for quite a bit of fabric, couple meters. So I have this. I have various, like, they're technically, you could say they're not super Christmas, but they're the colors, like the green and red. I'll just quickly show you. So this is definitely Christmassy. I'd say vintage. I love this. Then I've got like holly leaves and berries, but red. Plain green, Christmassy. But then I have like a plaid fabric. I have some stripes that I found at the op shop. I don't know, like candy cane? Who knows what it'll end up being. And then I have, I'll show you the rest of the fabric. Some is still in the bags from the op shop, so I need to organize myself, but all from the op shop. Santa, like a vintage looking Santa. Christmassy-ish things. Oh, I've had this for ages. This was also from the op shop. It doesn't have a price tag on it, but I think it was like $4.99. It says it's called, it just says a VIP print, Cranston Print Works, 100% cotton, printed in the USA. I can't see like any other details. Sorry about that. It looks like this. More plaid. I love plaid. Some of this, I've used this on other Christmas related quilts. The only other Christmas quilts I've made or Christmas things are Christmas stockings for the family. I made Christmas stockings to sell, and my husband says don't ever even try to sell on Facebook or Marketplace because people are poor. People don't want to spend money for handmade items for even a fraction of what they should pay. So he's like, you need a website. So apparently I have to build a whole website to be able to sell my stuff that I make. But yeah, so I've made quilts for our Christmas winter village Lego. So they fit on our entertainment unit and stuff. And I use this as the binding, but I've never actually made a big Christmas quilt. I'd love to make a big Christmas quilt with like Christmas stars. I don't know. It's just percolating in my mind. I have this Christmas fabric also from the op shop. It looks like this. I have used some of it to make a Christmas stocking. And then another, it looks vintage, is this. So you can tell me in the comments. I do actually wonder about this. A lot of the fabric that I'm finding, it looks like, see that, how it's been folded over and kind of crudely sewn. I think back in the day, women would buy fabric because it was cheap. So this says 100% cotton screen print. They'd make tablecloths out of it. And then when they declutter or some old person dies and they're getting rid of all their stuff, it comes to the op shop. And then I buy it and I cut it up and I make quilts out of it. It's the circle of the fabric life. So, oh, I found more Christmas fabric. So I'll pack this away and then I'll show you the rest of the Christmas fabric. All right, this is the stuff in the bags. So 1.10 by 70 centimeters, $1. I bought this from my favorite op shop Actually, I realized, you know that other video I did with like thrift haul? I have 2 op shops that I go to that I always find craft items at. This one is a meter by a meter for $2. And this one has like those super cool old style Christmas lights. This is another packet, a meter 10 by 70 for $1. It's just green background with silver and gold stars. A little bit of random red fabric. This I really love. So this was $3. It's another one of those made into a tablecloth or something, but I love this because it's so vintagey looking. Let me open it up so you get a really good look at it. Look at that. The plan: make some of this fabric into bunting. Let me know if you would like a tutorial on that or not. And some for a quilt for us. I have this netting stuff down here. I plan on making more of these. So these are the netting stuffs from the op shop. I buy shoelaces or cords or whatever at the op shop, and I make bags for produce like tomatoes, pears, bananas, whatever you buy, right? Why do I have a muslin? I don't need to keep that. That was me making, my husband needed something and I just hacked a bit of that out. He said, thanks very much. It's exactly what I needed. And then trying to be super frugal, kept it. I do this from time to time. I have a bag, which I think I just bought something at the op shop and it happened to be in this bag. So I probably redonate that so the op shop can use it for other things. And then I have a couple of little bags. You know, I bought them both from the op shop. They've been very useful to me. They're probably not useful to me in a cupboard, are they? So they can stay out. The last thing I have, which I really don't know what to do with, I have the instruction book for one of my sewing machines. I have 2 books. So there's this book, Stitch the Holes, and Secret Garden Embroidery. Still too scared to use them. I also have a beautiful address book, which I probably should put with my when we move house stash of things. It's beautiful. I'll show you some images. So it's the Royal Horticultural Society address book. And it has all these beautiful images in it, even the front cover. It's so nice. I get nervous about putting things in address books in case someone dies or doesn't want to be friends with me anymore, or it's like permanent perfectionist problems. So that I don't need to put back in there. This book was gifted to one of my children when they were young. We have used this Crafternoon sewing book a lot, so I'm not decluttering that. I'm thinking maybe I'm brave enough to start doing some of these embroideries. Why not, Katherine? Live a little. There's lots of cool projects in here. So if I actually start doing some of these projects, that would be very exciting. And I can share them with you when I do them on my channel. My cupboard is way more organized than it was. While I've been talking to you, I've been able to do like an inventory of what I have. I do not have black fabric. Well, I do. I have a little bit, but it's like a fat quarter amount. This black fabric is whatever stretchy fabric is called. There we go. I want to show you some other fabrics because I'm really excited about them. And I'm just going to do it. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to bend my legs. I'm going to get up. It's going to hurt. It's fine. I'm the picture of health and fitness. All right. Oh, and I will tell you, if you're like, why is she filming in her dressing gown? This is how, I don't have heating down here. It's how I stay warm. I've just got my dressing gown. I just whack it on top of my clothes. I think it's genius. All right. So I'm not going to feel bad about it. And I'll turn on, I even thought about, hang on. Does that help? Turn on a lamp. So you are now sitting on top of this like black unit, which someone gave to us. This looks so terrible. Can you even see that? It's all dusty and from kids and me, like opening bags of like oats or whatever to pack away shopping. This obviously needs a serious dusting. There you go. This cabinet thingy, hang on. You can see nothing. All right, let's try this again. So this is like a small chest of drawers. This is where I keep other sewing things. Things I have been gifted or found in the free pile at the op shop or bought in like a craft bundle off Marketplace. I found this recently. This was very exciting to me. Pinking shears. So then I got too sick and I haven't even been able to use them. So I should open them up. Crafting type of items. Crafting stuffs. This drawer is where I keep all my fat quarters. These fabrics I love. I just love them. But it becomes kind of scary sometimes to think like, what am I going to make it into? I wanted to show you some fabrics that I got all from the one op shop when we were like in country Victoria. I'll pull them all out. They were $1 a piece. I love all of them. These fabrics excite me so much because years ago I made a number of I Spy quilts. Many I have gifted. Some were for my children when they were very young. And now I've collected more fabrics and I can make more I Spy quilts. But the stones, bricks, autumnal trees, I mean, come on guys. Peas, eggs, onions. I will be able to make more I Spy quilts. I really need to wrap my head around the idea of selling quilts because I do love making them, but you can't end up with 25,000 million quilts in your house. And it can be an expensive hobby. I mean, I find a lot of fabrics at op shops. Before I was like into thrifting and op shopping, I was being stupid and buying things retail. So those, let me give you the basic rundown of what I would like to do. So the basic plan is finish the 3 quilts that I just need to bind. I hope these work properly. Canary, made in Japan. Let me find some fabric to cut. Let's cut fabric. What can I cut? Let's see. The real question is, I'm suddenly thinking, should I be using these for paper? I gotta Google this. My melted brain from being sick with struggling to breathe for such a substantial amount of time really has made my brain kind of feel like scrambled eggs. There we go. They work perfectly. Of course they do. They're made in Japan. Sometimes I get really torn though if I get something in original packaging. Oh wow. It's even got the little moisture keeping bag. Rusty proof silica gel pinking shears. That's so cool. This makes me think of Tarnished Treasure's YouTube channel. How she keeps packaging for everything. Notice, this self-adjusting ball adjusts automatically the teeth of the shears for any kind of cloth, thin or thick. When you use the shears, begin to cut any cloth from the second teeth and not from the first one, because the cloth might be gotten between the tooth. If the shears does not work smoothly, please pour a drop of oil on each of the screw, the self-adjusting ball, and the tooth. Self-adjusting ball. These honestly feel like they've never been used. It's quite incredible that you can find stuff at op shops that have never been used. And now that I read that about the scissors, I'm like, yeah, I'm keeping them in the box because it's so exciting to me to find something this old in the box. How exciting. And I have the little gap. It's like a perfect gap where I can slide that in and keep it all safe and sound. It's been really good to get back into crafting. During the lockdowns that we had here in Melbourne, I made no less than like 10 quilts, and I gave away a lot of those quilts. I think it was a coping mechanism. And then I kind of just stopped sewing. We turned this room into a food storage room, and I don't know, I just stopped sewing for some strange reason. I think I needed a really long break. And now that I'm getting back into it, it's very exciting, but I don't have my sewing room anymore. So that's probably why I hand quilted those quilts, because I didn't want to be like dragging a sewing machine in and out. And I really like how they look, so I don't regret doing it. But now I don't really have any more quilt tops to work on. I'm gonna have to get the machine out again, and then gotta get the cutting mat out, cut the fabric, and it's a whole big thing sometimes in amongst my life. That was a lot of talking, but I guess I needed to have a chat. Did I even tell you my quilting plan? Whew. I think I started to, and then I got totally distracted. Bind the 3 quilts, start working on the Christmas bunting, whatever else is like gonna be time sensitive. Do you want to see the different things that I make and sew and quilt? I've been thinking so much about just truly being my authentic self, but also realizing that I can't film every moment of my life. A lot of my days are very busy, but they're kind of like you're going from one task to the next. There's not really like even the thought to set up a camera or a tripod to show the things. But I want to continue doing my YouTube channel and showing the different things. So I need to formulate a plan. I don't know. I have no idea. Now that I have begun coughing quite a bit, I need to stop talking. I am actually procrastinating because I have to stay awake late tonight to go and pick up my boys. I should probably have a shower and do all that, you know, responsible stuff. That sounds like a plan. So I'll go and do that. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully this wasn't just like all super long-winded, because it was. And yes, if you're doing sewing or crafting or anything, let me know what you're up to. I am still so grateful for the lady who, I'm sorry I can't remember your name, who explained what the notions thing was. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And what you shared was very fascinating. So I'm still using that notions holder thing. And I'll be back again soon with a well thought out, well executed video. I'm an eclectic person, right? I like joking around. I like sewing. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm a person. I care about things like politics and religion and opinions and learning new things and fascinating facts and history and food and cooking and medicinals and teas and everything, right? So it's a very mixed bag. I'm gonna go cough some more. I'm gonna go check on my sickly children. They're fine. My sickly children are actually my 3 oldest children, so they're really okay. At least it's not the little ones, because they would be high maintenance. Yep, that's it. I'm gonna go. I'll see you soon. Bye.